Good evening. Good evening. Hopefully you can hear me okay, and Facebook is not going to go and do anything really stupid and lose the signal tonight. But we shall see. I am a little bit worse for the wear because I have been for yet another gastroscopy today to see if what they found last time has cleared up any with the new medication that I'm on, and it hasn't. So I've got to go back for another gastroscopy in 6 weeks' time. So I seem to not be able to cut the ties with the NHS at the moment. So I'm just going with the flow. So never mind that. I'm fine. I'm here. I've still got a few plasters. I've still got my wristband on. Look, I should have taken that off. It's been a bit of a rushed afternoon because I didn't actually get out of the hospital till 4 o'clock. 4 p.m. I think Gary picked me up, and then obviously had to get home, get myself organised, and actually ended up having a bit of a nana nap on the couch because I've been under anaesthetic again for it because I don't like having the tubes wedged down my throat without some sort of help. Hi, Helen. So tonight's topic, this is really exciting for me. I love talking about anything artsy, and I hope that this live tonight can help somebody to think about what 2020 really looks like. Now, I know that vision boards are banded around a hell of a lot, and since The Secret was released, and then, you know, since people started to latch onto it, everybody uses vision boards. Now, I have been using vision boards for 20 years. It's always just been a natural thing for me, being an artist, that I was always going to create a vision of what I wanted to achieve in life. So when vision boards became a thing, felt like I was ahead of the game. But I think, you know, there are people going to be watching this either tonight live or on replay that, one, don't know what a vision board is and haven't used one, because not everybody does, and you can't assume that everybody does. And two, maybe have used a vision board but not really understood or bought into the principles, where it comes from. And then there's three, which is me. And I do mine differently and the same. So I'm going to show you two versions of my vision boards for this year, for 2019 to 2020. And I'm going to talk you through what I do, how I do it, why I do it, what sort of techniques that I use, and what sort of things that I do when I'm preparing and thinking about my vision board. So I don't know what your understanding is of a vision board. Lots of people think that you just need to get a piece of cardboard or something square and stick a load of pictures on it and job done, of the things that you want to have in life, like the big expensive house and the car and etc., etc. And in principle, yes, that's it. But it's more than that, because a vision board is exactly that. Our ability to have a vision for what we want to achieve in life and for our future and for our present, in fact, is a huge thing. That it's a huge neurological thing in our heads. Now, when I am teaching on my 12-month coaching program that launches soon, vision, I approach it in 6 different ways throughout the program, because vision is a huge thing, and the ability to do it does not sit easily with every single human being on the planet. Not everybody can create vision. Generally, leaders can create vision. People that are taking their companies marching over the border are really great at creating vision, because it actually gives people something to work towards. And that's really where it's come from. To take control of that process and bring it into your life, there's a strategy attached to that. So it's not just about sticking pictures on a board. This is about reaching into your very soul and reaching into your desires and reaching past your fears and your limiting beliefs, and to draw out a blank canvas, almost a template of what you want your life to look like. And a vision board should enable you to feel that as well as see it. And that's the important thing. And that's why I'm bringing artsy into it, because for me, the more connected you are to your vision board or your planning, the more likely you are to deliver it. And as you create these firing neurons in your brain that creativity actually encourages, it's more likely that your brain is going to be able to come up with the pathways and the solutions for you to be able to get to your big vision. So that's my introduction. So what I'm going to share with you tonight is 2 types of vision board that I work with for me. Now, this is for me. It might not work for you. All I can do is give you techniques and advice that I use, and you can just extract out of that things that work for you, and things that don't work for you, you can bin them. It doesn't matter. All right. So I work on a principle. Now, I work on 2 principles when I'm creating a vision board. The first thing I work with is something that has been around since the year dot. And when I say the year dot, I really do mean 0 BC. And the Asian cultures, so Tibetan culture and Hinduism and Buddhism, have been using something called a mandala in their culture for centuries. And it's a circular object. And you'll have seen them, they're very fancy, some of them these days, but it's a circular object. And the word mandala actually comes from Sanskrit for the word circle or discoid object. So Sanskrit is the ancient Indian language. So it's a spiritual and a ritual symbol in Asian, Tibetan culture, Hinduism and Buddhism. Okay. And it's used for many things. It's used for meditation. So they use it in these cultures for meditation. And it symbolizes the universe and you being guided through a cosmic process of transforming the universe from one, and I've written this down to get it right because this is really important, transforming the universe, your universe, from one of suffering to one of joy and happiness. And that's how the mandala is used in Hinduism and Buddhism. And I love it, and I use it in my program, and I use it in my life because I think it's a very powerful thing, and it's very symbolic. And I use a lot of symbolic art throughout everything I do. So I wouldn't tell you that this is what I use without giving you a little bit of information on it. So that's really what I'm doing, is just giving you a bit of background information. So I use mandalas in the planning processes of my vision boards. I also use a model called the Perfect Square. And the Perfect Square is a model that was written by a lady called Florence Scovel Shinn in her book, The Game of Life and How to Play It. In 1928, she was a visionary, a woman in a man's world in 1928, a complete visionary that was talking about the concept of The Secret long before it was publicized and made into a Hollywood movie. And the perfect square, as she describes it, is that life is a square of 4 key areas. And if you don't focus on all 4 of these areas, your square collapses. It's not robust enough. And those 4 areas are love, wealth, health, and self-expression. And without one, and often we don't use the self-expression one often enough. So when I am working on my vision board, I am using 2 models. I'm using the mandala and I'm using the perfect square. So I'm going to show you 2 vision boards from this actual vision boards that I've used this year. And then I'm going to show you, I'm going to post after I finish this live and stop droning on, I'm going to post a little 2-minute video that I actually use to show you how I've created the vision board, the artsy one, that I actually share on my program. So it's a little snippet of one thing that you could find in my program. So here is vision board number 1. This is your standard, what you would expect vision board. I'm not very good at getting this right on the camera. And I don't know whether you can see this, but it's made up of the perfect square. And at the top is wealth. At the side here, self-expression. Underneath, health. And at this side here is love. These are all vitally important. At the center of my perfect square was my big goal for 2019-2020, and that was to buy my dream home cash. And you can see I've got a big tick on it. Oh, good. Big tick on it. And I've written achieved on there because this is where I'm sitting right now, in this very home, right? That's been on there for a year, and it's the very home I'm sitting in. And what I also put on there was not just my home, but in the area of self-expression, I had a floor plan, which shows where my art studio is going to be. Big tick. Under self-expression. And there's my branding for my business. That's all under self-expression. And then under wealth, obviously I bought the house cash and I wanted that car. So I could visualize myself. And I haven't actually got that specific car, but I have got the model down from that, and I bought it cash. So for me, it was all about peace of mind and creating enough wealth, but the wealth for the right things that created security for my family. That's important. And that connects in with love. And there's a floor plan of the downstairs of my home, which is all about family and family space where we can be together and spend our time together. So this is how I would create a vision board. Now, the dog's on there because he's 12 and a half now, and I wanted to visualize him still being here because he's an important part of my family and I love him. My husband's very ill. Also, wanted to visualize him still being here and still part of that area of my life, and my family is very important to me. So that's how I've created my vision board. And what you'll see is lots of yellow post-it notes, and these are my affirmations that I say daily. So these are the things that are up on my wall that I would say. So I'll read a few of them out to you. I live a wealthy and abundant life. Money comes easily and effortlessly to me. I am self-reliant, creative and persistent in what I do. I trust my intuition and I always make wise decisions. I write beautiful and inspirational work. I am my own creator. I am courageous. I create the life I want and I enjoy it. You've probably seen me posting some of these on Facebook. I'm sharing them with you. Well, I actually say these things daily. This is my daily affirmations for 2019, 2020. And I do them repetitively because if you're going to create vision and actually manifest the vision and own it and achieve it, then you've got to believe it and you've got to reprogram your brain to do that. So in creating this vision board, I used the perfect square and the things that I really wanted to tangibly achieve in my life. Now, anybody could do this. It's on a piece of recycled cardboard that came in some bedding, okay, that I got earlier on in the year. So I use recycled stuff. I don't go out and buy anything. Because why would I? I care about the environment, and that's on my vision board as well. So that's a standard vision board, and you might have pictures of different. You would have pictures of different things to me. But for me, so that's my house phone ringing. If you can hear it, I'm just going to ignore it and hope that somebody else answers one of the other ones around the house. So for me, the important things that I was visualizing in 2019, 2020 was the house and the happiness of the family and my self-expression coming back. Those were the key things for me in that year. In this year that we're in, we're still in it, 2019, and I've done loads of that. But I don't just do that one. And this is the other one I want to share with you now, and this is where I'm bringing in the artsy stuff. So I want to share this one for you, and this looks less like a vision board and more like a piece of art. It's still a piece of recycled cardboard, still with my environmental values and beliefs there. And what I did with this, and the video that I'll share with you after this live shows how I started, and it started with a mandala that I've drawn with a compass in the center, okay? And within the mandala, I record some of the things I want to feel. So this is a feeling vision board because this is a tangible being vision board, and this is a feeling vision board. I ask myself, how do I want to feel when I create this piece of art? So I started with a mandala, and then I went round the mandala with a perfect square, and everything that goes here fits into one of those areas, 4 areas of life. So love, wealth, health, and self-expression. I use them as the driving force for me to create a vision board. So there's always 2 in my house every single year, and these are for the whole year. So what you'll see in this, and you might not be able to see it very well, and I'm really sorry, I would like to have been able to give you really rubbish at finding where to put this. In the center of this one, and this sits in more than one area. This is, I've not manifested this yet, but it's strongly and firmly still on my vision board and will carry into 2020. And that's my Scottish retreat. And it's surrounded by all the blue, which is water, because I brought in 2019 my self-expression back, and I had that on my vision board in the art studio that I had in my brand new home. So this is my take it another step further, Mandy. Where do I love to paint the most, and where do I love to be to show my self-expression the most? And that's in Scotland. It really is a feeling place for me. So the Scottish retreat is on the agenda. And you'll see words in there, that actually says Scottish retreat, and you'll see words such as calm. I want to feel calm. I want to feel abundant. You'll see live well, think well, love well. Do it your way. Express yourself. A beautiful thing is never perfect. These are the words I've written on here. This is me wanting to move towards a more vegetarian, plant-based, environmentally friendly diet. And overall, there's the look and feel of, for me, Scotland in here with the purple and the water, and also the beaches. I mean, that's not actually a beach. That's made out of roof tiles on a picture that I found, but I thought it went really well. So what I've done is I've drawn the mandala, then the perfect square, written all the words on it, stuck some pictures out of magazines on, and then painted around it to actually create a piece of art to go on my wall that I can anchor myself to and keep my vision very strong as I see it, all centered around this for me in the next year, my Scottish retreat. So that's how I take a vision board and move it into 2 separate pieces of work for me. There'll always be 2 up in my office now, or my studio rather. It used to be up in the living room. And I think it's really important that the main thing for me in showing you both of these is your connection to both of these, your process in creating them. There's no right and wrong. You can use pasta, you can use sand, you can use bits of broken crockery to create your vision board. There's always a strategic one, and there's always a feeling one in my house, so that I look at my feel goals. How do I want to feel? I want to feel calm. I want to feel abundant. I want to feel powerful in my creativity. But I also want some tangible goals in there that I can look at the end of the year and put a big tick on and say, I've achieved that. And hopefully by the end of 2020, there'll be a big tick in the middle here where it says Scottish retreat. But I also want to acknowledge my individuality here. A beautiful thing is never perfect. That's how I see myself. It's how I see my art. It's how I see my creativity, my communication. So in creating a vision board, you don't have to be just sticking bits of magazines and writing words on boards. Yes, that's part of it, absolutely. It's the connection to you. It's the strategic plans, the strategic things that you want in your life, the tangible things like the house and the car and the wealth, and the relationships, and how you're going to express yourself, and what are you going to do with your health. My health is quite prevalent, hence the moving towards a more plant-based diet. My health is really important for 2020 because I've had a really bad year with surgeries and procedures. Having just had another one today, I've had a gastroscopy. That's the 6th procedure surgery I've had this year. I've still got the scar of major surgery. So I've put my health on the agenda for 2020, but not putting myself under any pressure. I just want to feel better and feel good. So that's my take on vision boards. And I think for you, if you can release yourself from the pressure to keep up with the Joneses, nobody else has that on the wall that I know. I've been out with the paints on that. There was no plan. I just let the paint lead me based on the things, the words that I'd written on there and the ideas and the feelings that I had that I wanted to achieve in the next year. And I think that's what creativity is. It's letting your strategic wants and needs and your feeling wants and needs drive the work that you do, how you pull it together, and how you are going to visualize your life for the next 12 months, 24 months, maybe 5 years. Your vision board doesn't have to be done every year, you know. Oh my goodness. Can any... Was that live video interrupted then, guys? Can anybody give me a thumbs up or a heart? Is anybody still there that can tell me whether that was interrupted? Natasha, stop sharing the videos. You're interrupting my live. I don't know whether this is still filming or not. I'm going to continue to talk for a minute or so in the hopes that you've not all left to make a cup of tea, that you are still here. I think Natasha's filling my Google Drive with a video. Thanks, Natasha. That's how to get rid of me. Yay! You now know how. So hopefully this is still filming right now. I am going to post on my little 2-minute instructional video with audio about how I created my art piece vision board. So hopefully that will help you to be able to think differently. Please, hashtag let me know what your thoughts are. Hashtag replay if you're watching on replay. Really sorry if you've lost the video on this. Fingers crossed it didn't go completely. And I will see you all not next week, because next week is Christmas Eve and none of you want to watch me on Christmas Eve. You'll be watching Home Alone. I will be back in the new year with a more consistent time slot, and also I'm going to be planning the content each week and sort of sharing that with you in advance. Have a fantastic Christmas, everybody. You are an amazing crowd of people, and I love you so much. And it's great that you actually take the time out to watch my videos. That's if this is still recording. Have a great time, and I will see you all in the new year.